stated that, on Thursday, SVB saw outflows of 42 billion. This is a staggering amount of deposits fleeing, and it's approximately 1/4 of their whole deposit base. And that happened on Thursday. That essentially was the death blow, Sully.
Yeah, don't say you're sorry. I mean, Herb Greenberg coming back to you. I mean, it is. At the end of the day, I'm going to say it's a bit of a complicated story. I tried to explain it in the open, but this is TV. You got like 2 minutes at best, which is that, man, this bank was riding high for a long time, and they were getting all kinds of deposits because the startup community was hot, venture community was hot, whatever. Interest rates were 0%. If you had to sort of point your finger, not big into blame, but if you had to point your finger at maybe one thing, I would say it's this massive jump in interest rates. Is it that, or was it malfeasance or stupidity, I'm sorry, in this portfolio construction bordering on that?
It's the greater fool theory, Brian. Look, we go back on this. I have a friend, Peter Atwater. You may know Peter.
I do.
He writes a Financial Insights newsletter, and today he had something great on this, really great. And he said, if you look at this, SVB was a highly leveraged, all-in bet on overconfidence. Now think about that. And if you go back, to November 2021, it was then that there was, I think it was the head of PE from Apollo, was quoted, I think originally by Bloomberg. I did some stuff on it back then because it wasn't just him, it was a bunch who were looking at private market valuations. And they were saying these were becoming delusional. Now, you know who was on both sides of those transactions? Is SVB was in there. And so you could argue that was the beginning when they were starting to get loaded up on this, and then you get to the interest rate issue. It looked good. And that's where the greater fool theory comes in, that everybody got sucked in here. All the smart people, everybody who should have known better. And now you're starting to see, the dominoes continue to fall.
And Deirdre, again, I tried to set it up, and you live in the Bay Area. I tried to set up for our viewers who may be in Chicago or Miami or Houston, like, who the hell is Silicon Valley Bank and why do I care? This is like a country club bank for startups. They claim on their website 50% of U.S. venture-backed tech or health science, like biotech, startups bank with them. Take us through the importance of this company in maybe not even the Bay Area, but in the startup community writ large.
That is a statistic, Brian, that cannot be underestimated. It's one that kind of just is mind-blowing. I mean, you can throw a dart where I am outside of one market in downtown San Francisco and hit a company that has banked or has a loan from Silicon Valley Bank. So the ramifications are massive, and the startup community is figuring out how they're going to be affected, but this is also reaching the public markets. You're hearing companies like Roku and others come out and say that they hold deposits or they have cash at Silicon Valley Bank, and they don't know when they're going to be able to access that. You have other companies coming out as well saying that they don't because no one really knows.
Yeah.
This is a bank that has ties all over the tech industry, beyond Silicon Valley, beyond San Francisco, all the way to China and Europe. So the ramifications are going to be huge, as are the fallout.
Yeah, it was. And by the way,
Brian, can I point out one thing?
Very quickly, we got to go quick.
Very quickly, I just want to point out right now, as 8Ks are being filed, after the close on Friday, as my friend Michelle Leader at Footnote has been flagging us, hundreds, well over 100 8Ks being filed, mentioning SIVB, either having impact or not having impact. So it's a place to look right now.
By the way, perfect timing, Herb, because that's what we got coming up after the break with Bertha Coombs. Or we got it right now, as a matter of fact. And just always remember, folks, and Hugh, put this quote in your next reporting. What did Ernest Hemingway say about bankruptcy? There's 2 ways to go bankrupt: gradually and then suddenly. All right, we're going to have you back on if there are any big developments. All right, right now we just mentioned it. Let's get out of Bertha Coombs. We've been tracking exactly